Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm coming to you from the Bish Discovery Center. So for those of you who have not heard of the Bish Discovery Center or haven't visited, it's located at 404 North Ohio Street. It's a little bit different than the Nature Center. The Nature Center's focus is a little more on natural history. This building, we want to teach people about sustainable living practices, how to be environmentally friendly. We want to make them aware about things they can do to help conserve the planet. So this building is also a hub for bikers and kayakers. Last year we had bike rentals. We have a bike station where people can stop and pump up their tires. Hoping to eventually offer kayak and canoe rentals in the future, but I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. So we have community gardens where people can come and grow their own food. We have a pollinator field. We have all kinds of displays inside, so you'll have to come and visit once quarantine is over and see what it's all about. So today I want to talk to you guys about recycling at home. First, why recycle? Why is recycling important? When you recycle, companies can reuse this material instead of mining or producing and using fossil fuels to produce new material. So that is one reason. We want to keep it out of the environment, and we want to keep it out of the landfill. When this stuff breaks down in the landfill, it can leach into the groundwater. Chemicals can leach into the groundwater. Just not good. I wanted to talk to you about what can go into your curbside bin, and if it can't go into your curbside bin, where can it go? So first, I want to talk about some of what I call the easy items. Glass can be recycled over and over again, so it can go in your curbside bin. Rumpke will take it. Some others are aluminum cans, tin cans, and steel cans. They can go in your curbside bin as well. Cardboard and paper boxes can go in your curbside bin. They prefer that you break them down and then they can go in. Newspaper can also go in, or you can compost your newspaper, but it can also go in the curbside bin. Where things start to get really confusing is with plastics. So there's actually 7 different types of plastics, and it has to do with the different polymer groups, but I'm not going to get into all of that because I want to keep things simple for you. And how do you know which plastic is which? So the nice thing is, if you look on the bottom of a plastic item, there is a triangle. It's usually on the bottom. Sometimes it could be up around the neck of the item, but there's a triangle that has a number in it. Hard to see on this one, but you can see that little triangle, and it has a number 2 in it. And that is the number of the plastic. So Rumpke curbside bin will take plastics 1 and 2. So an example of plastic 1 is this bottle. It's a rigid plastic, and usually it is a clear color like this. What I mean by rigid is it's not a real flimsy plastic. So plastic 1 can go in your curbside bin. So the next one would be plastic 2. This is an example of plastic 2. It is also a rigid plastic, but it usually has this opaque color. So plastic 2 can also go in the bin. So plastics 1 and 2 are what can go into your curbside bin. I should mention that before you throw your bottles in the trash, you want to take the caps off. The plastic cap is actually a different type of plastic than the bottle itself. So I have a bin at home that I throw all my caps in, and we are lucky enough here in Darke County that our solid waste district will take the caps. There's a drop-off here at the Bish Discovery Center. You can drop caps off out at the Nature Center. There's other various places around the community where you can drop them off, but they take these caps and they melt them down and they make park benches out of these caps. And we actually have several park benches made out of these caps all around our park. So I recommend start a bin at home, collect your caps, and you can drop them off. Some other items that cannot go in the bin, butter tubs are a common one that get thrown in the bin. It's a little more of a rigid plastic, but it's actually plastic 5. So if you look, it has the number 5 on it. And polypropylene cannot easily be recycled. So until Rumpke can find a market for that, they don't want plastic 5 in the bin. So I would recommend either trying to find a reuse for this, or maybe don't get the butter that's in the tub. You could get the butter that is the bar that comes in the wax paper. Plastic 3, PVC, it cannot go into your curbside bin. I would call your local solid waste district and ask them for some information on what you can do with PVC. Some other items that can't go in. Solo cups are plastic 6, which is polystyrene. Also, egg cartons and other kinds of polystyrene, more like the foam polystyrene, it cannot go in the bin. So my advice for this is to either reduce your usage of it or do a little research. I know there's things like TerraCycle where you can get a box, you can recycle and have it sent in, but it just cannot go in your curbside bin. Other items, plastic straws cannot go in your bin. They're not recyclable. You can switch to a metal straw to reduce the amount of straws that you're throwing in the trash, or buy paper straws. Those are making a comeback, but those cannot go in your bin. A couple of things people have asked me about with curbside is pizza boxes. If the pizza box is soiled with grease, then they don't want it in the bin. However, if it's not, it can go in the bin. So sometimes your pizza box on the top of the lid does not get grease on it. So I will tear off the top cardboard and put it in the bin, and then the other has to go either in the trash or you can try to compost it. So a few more things that you may run into often are things like bubble wrap, and this is the opposite of what I was saying a rigid plastic is. It's very flimsy. You really don't want to throw things like plastic shopping bags and bubble wrap in your bin. These really can get tangled up in the machinery at the recycling facilities that Rumpke has, and it can cause them all kinds of issues. The nice thing about these is if you look on here, it has a recycling symbol that says store drop-off. So there are store drop-off boxes at places like Kroger, Walmart, and most people think that those are just for plastic shopping bags. However, if you get online, if you visit this website, howtorecycle.info, it has all kinds of information about what all you can take to that store drop-off. That includes these plastic shipping bubble envelopes, bubble wrap, shopping bags, obviously, the bagged air that they're shipping stuff in now. Those can be put into the store drop-off. I like to puncture those and flatten it for them before I drop it off. Things like these plastic bread bags, and they're really doing a good job at simplifying things. This one actually has the store drop-off symbol on it too. So there's an option. I have a bin at home that I started just specifically for store drop-off, and then when I go to the store, I take it with me and dump them. Some of the things that we obviously can't easily recycle, PVC, plastics 4 and 5 and 6. My biggest recommendation for that would be to reduce the amount of that you're using, or find alternatives. There's a lot of plastic-free packaging options. A lot of companies are moving to that because they know that there are more people that are becoming aware. I've been successful in finding dish detergent pods, I have laundry detergent strips that come in a cardboard envelope. So I would recommend trying to find those options. There are some things that you should not put in the bin that I did not mention before. I did say glass bottles can go in the bin, but they don't want like drinking glasses in the bin. Broken glass they don't want in the bin. Light bulbs cannot go. Batteries. We actually have a drop-off at the Bish for batteries and at the Nature Center, so you can bring your old batteries and drop them off, and we'll take them and see that they are being properly recycled. Being yard waste, you put your yard waste in a compost pile. Electronics, Our solid waste district does an e-waste pickup, so if you have some electronics, I know it's really easy to want to just throw them in the trash and get rid of them, but maybe kind of stash them until that e-waste date, and then they can take them and properly dispose of them and try to reuse parts of it. So there are options out there. You just kind of have to look. I know it's not quite as convenient, but we really need to do these things for the planet. That's my spiel on recycling at home. If you have any questions, drop them below and I will help you out.